Hi, this video is following our recent trip from London Heathrow over to New York, and that was via Virgin Atlantic's upper class. We had a relatively early flight the next morning, so we decided to travel down the night before, as we commonly do when we fly from Heathrow, and use a hotel. This one's the Renaissance. It's the first time we've used it. We booked ourselves a club room, as we like to do, which ultimately kind of saves on the cost a little bit. So we'll have a look around the Renaissance first and the club room and the facilities available, and then early tomorrow morning we'll head over to Terminal 3 for the Virgin Atlantic upper class experience. So we booked the Renaissance for a couple of reasons really. First and foremost, it promised some really good runway views, and I have to say it doesn't disappoint in that arena, both from the car park and indeed the room that we had. And second of all was the price. Generally speaking, the Renaissance is sort of £20-30 a night cheaper, including parking, than some of the other nearby hotels such as the Sheraton Skyline. So this is a runway view room with executive club access and parking included in the price. Nice room, nice and clean, relatively modern and well equipped. A little bit smaller than I'd been expecting, but actually for one night, really good room. And as I alluded to earlier, the view from this room was nothing shy of flawless really. Straight out onto the runway there and the taxiways. Some great views of the planes coming in and out. The room itself, as I said, was a little bit snug. The one area that probably does let it down a little bit is the bathroom, and I'll walk you through there in a second or two. Perfectly clean, perfectly functional, but just a little bit cosy from I suppose other hotels in and around the area. But overall, really happy with the Renaissance. It was a good deal for us. We're certainly going to book to go back for one of our next trips. So yeah, I'd give it a firm thumbs up really. And then just to give you a flavour of the rest of the hotel, this is the lobby and check-in area. As you can see, nice and large, loads of seating around, so if you are waiting for other people to join you or you need to wait for a cab or anything, there's loads of seating downstairs in the foyer. Just off of it in the far right hand corner is a fairly big bar and restaurant. Yeah, it's quite a nice environment really. It may have been because travel had only recently started when we went back there, but there seemed to be quite a quiet and holiday vibe in the hotel. Then just wandering down into the hotel bar now. As hotel bar goes, actually, it's really quite nice. Sometimes for these type of airport hotels, they struggle to get any kind of atmosphere or vibe in the bars. But on this occasion, I have to say they seem to have done it quite well. Obviously, they know how to charge because you're kind of a captive market. But overall, the bar seemed quite nice and actually a nice place to while away a couple of hours. But as I've said, we had executive lounge access, so we didn't spend too much time down in the bar. The executive lounge is up on the 3rd floor, and it provides 3 hours of free drinks and some canapes and a nice little environment to sit. So you just use your card to kind of gain access into the executive lounge, and then again it's again really nice area. I do apologise about the camera lens. Clearly we should have wiped it down before we started videoing. But this is a bit of an overview of the lounge. Nice quiet area. Some canapes were brought out, and there's some snacks that you can help yourself as you go with. But I suppose the main allure is the happy hour, which I think was from 6 until 9, where beer, wine and a few other beverages are kind of free of charge. So you can kind of get a bit of value out of the room, which is why we do it. This one, I have to say, again, had flawless views of the runway, and you could while away a few hours just watching planes come and go. Quite a nice environment. We didn't go there for breakfast, where you get a free continental breakfast in the morning, simply because of the time of flight and the lounge access we had. We didn't use that facility, but this is why we like club rooms, because we think it kind of offers you a great degree of flexibility. Some nice free drink during the evening for a few beers. Yeah, a good club lounge. We liked it. And then just a quick shot of the canapes, which are actually quite sizable. Whilst they come on these small plates, we were offered at least 3 or 4 times to have some more canapes. We didn't take them up on it, but they're certainly not stingy with the drinks or indeed the food. So after a good night's sleep, we got up to particularly murky and drizzly London to make our way over to Terminal 3 and the Virgin Atlantic check-in area. For those of you who don't know, if you're flying upper class with Virgin Atlantic from Heathrow, you can actually use their drive-through check-in facility, which is absolutely awesome. Certainly puts another layer of feeling special with Virgin. We'd booked a taxi from the airport. He came and collected us. It was only a short ride, probably about 10 minutes, which cost us £20, which isn't cheap. But this is us heading up into the drive-through check-in area. So you have to let them know who you are in the car and what flight you're going on to. You drive up through this very narrow passage into what I would describe as an awesome area, really well lit, really well designed. And actually, as you get out the car, the Virgin Atlantic staff are there to help you with your bags and check you in flawlessly. Really special touch. It's a real bonus of flying with Virgin out of Heathrow. Great little facility, absolutely love it. Well done, Virgin. And then you literally just step inside to a couple of private check-in kiosks where the staff check you in as normal, but in a much more relaxed and quiet environment. And then it is just a short walk from here through to a private security channel, which then feeds you out to terminal. So really and truthfully, Virgin have got this kind of ground product nailed. The drive-through check-in, the private security lane, really good. And then it's just a short walk through Terminal 3 to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse. Now, I have to say, from my view, certainly in Terminal 3, if not all of Heathrow, the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse is probably the best lounge. And I include in that the Concorde Lounge, I include in that the Cathay Pacific and the Qantas First Class lounges. I just really think Virgin have got their ground product absolutely nailed. Maybe it suits with me and the vibe's really good, but actually I just think it's the best way to start a holiday. So don't worry, I'm not going to blabber on through this tour of the lounge, but as you can see, it's absolutely huge. There's loads of different zones in there, loads of different seating options available. The service is really good. Whilst it was still order through the apps, there was indeed a number of staff wandering around and taking table orders. So ultimately, they made you feel incredibly welcome. It's an incredibly luxurious experience, and as I said earlier, I think just Virgin have got this ground product absolutely nailed. So I'll let the video play out as you wander around the clubhouse, and I suppose the only words I've got to say about it are, frankly, yes, it is as good as it looks. So you'll see that staircase now that we're just going underneath. If you go up there, which we didn't do for the video, there's another loft area with a pool table, some TVs and a bit of a chill out area. And you can also access a terrace, an outside terrace area where you can get a good view of the planes and take in some fresh, if you can call it fresh air. But bearing in mind it's cold, it's wet and miserable, we didn't take you up there on this video. And then if you are more of a regular Virgin flyer, or you've been in this clubhouse before, you'll probably be very familiar with the spa area. So we're just approaching that now. Certainly at the moment, due to COVID, it is closed down, so there is no spa facility. They've converted it into some more chill out areas. When we spoke to the staff, they don't know if it's coming back or not. So it was certainly a facility I used to really enjoy, and again, it was another bespoke reason for flying Virgin, but at the moment it's not available and unknown if it's coming back. So we haven't flown Virgin for a few years, and there's not a specific reason why we haven't done that. I think realistically the reward program from British Airways seemed to be a little bit better than Virgin. Certainly when Virgin had an older fleet of aircraft with very limited upper class seats, we didn't seem to be able to get much reward, so we switched over to British Airways. However, we were lucky enough on this occasion to get a really good deal and also be flying Virgin's new A350 upper class. So we're really excited to see how it went. As I've kind of been speaking about earlier, the ground product from Virgin I think is unrivaled by British Airways, certainly. The onboard product I was really interested to see. So they really do create a great vibe with Virgin. There's no two ways about that. But we were a little bit disappointed with the A350. The aisleways are really, really narrow. To the point you almost have to walk sideways just when you're walking up and down it, not even with a bag in your hand. And for me, the cabin just felt a little bit cramped. The old upper class suites created a real spacious feel, whereas this one, it all just feels a little bit cramped. The seat itself is perfectly comfortable. You're kind of doing the reverse herringbone, so you actually get to look out the window. There's nice enough space. There's a bit of a foot cubby hole down there that you can put your feet up into, so loads of room to stretch out. But I don't know, it just felt a little bit claustrophobic almost, which I know is a really arrogant thing to say, particularly when you're sat in upper class. But it just doesn't seem to kind of create the same spacious feel that the old upper class cabins did. Obviously, you will get all the luxuries of champagne and the great cabin service that Virgin always do. The safety video still hasn't changed from Virgin, but it is quite a funny little video. And as you can see here, the screen pops out, so you do look square onto it. The food service and drink services are what you'd expect from a business class or a business class product service. So I'll just put some of the menu up there so you can have a flick through and pause it if you want. Excuse my horrible reflection in the screen there. So a really nice touch that they have got on the A350s is the tail cam and the nose gear cameras. So as you're taxiing out and at any point in the flight, you can either flick up to the tail view or to keep an eye on the landing gear as you're taking off. Really enjoyed this, much more than I thought I would do, to be honest. And I've seen a few people talk about how good it is. Really, really interesting to watch the takeoff and landing. So I'll just let this play out for you. And if you want to skip ahead, obviously, please feel free to. I can't say why or how, but I found it really enjoyable to watch it as we were taking off and landing. Bit sad, but just what I found. thought I'd also leave the camera running just for that real holiday moment of when you break through the clouds out of the murkiness, particularly from a really rainy London. You break through into that bright sunshine, and I managed to capture that as well. And the rest of the flight was pretty as you'd expect from an upper class flight, really. Food and drink service was really good. I suppose it's only worthy of note, due to the narrowness of the aisles, that they almost do a trolley service through upper class now rather than table service. And then the other thing on the A350, which may be a bit more controversial for Virgin Atlantic customers, is the getting rid of the bar and creating the loft, which you can see now. It's supposed to be a bit of an informal area where you can stretch out and have a chat with various different people. I don't know, from us, it just felt like a bit of they're just using the space. They obviously wanted to get rid of the bar and they wanted to use the space for something, but I'm not sure it's achieved what they really wanted it to. It certainly doesn't seem to work for us. So coming back to the seat on the A350, look, it's nice and it's comfortable. There's no shadow of a doubt about that, and it is a true business class product. It converts into lie flat bed for your night flight, and they provide bedding and pyjamas and all of that sort of good stuff. And I've seen a lot of people talk about it on YouTube and really rate it. For me, I'm just not sure it works. It feels a little bit plasticky and a little bit as if you're hemmed in. I personally found one of the benefits of Virgin Atlantic's upper class suites previously was it felt like a really spacious cabin. This one just doesn't feel like it. Certainly when you're lying down in the bed, it can feel very claustrophobic. And again, please take that in a pinch of salt that I really mean it with, of absolutely you're still laying down on a flight, and that's an absolute luxury. I don't know, for me it just it doesn't feel like a massive advancement forward for Virgin. I totally understand that it obviously creates more seats in their flights, and I'm looking forward to comparing of how that works with the BA's new Club World suites, which we're trying in January. So hopefully we'll be able to give a decent comparison. So yeah, the Virgin experience, certainly from Heathrow, ground product, absolutely nailed it. Onboard product, a nice place to be, but not the game changer I was hoping that the A350 may be. But hey, as with always, it's only my view, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel very different to me about it. And once we've landed, we had a really good experience of getting through customs and getting the luggage back. And how else are you going to get picked up in America other than a great big truck, which took us into Manhattan for our trip. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's something a little bit different from us flying Virgin. There will be a return leg video, particularly for the Clubhouse at JFK. So look, I really hope you've enjoyed watching. If you do, please leave a comment, like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thanks.